Okay, introducing the next session, that is elevating data center security, controlling threat in your facility. And for this, I would like to invite on stage Mr. Ravindra Dhawan, who is Head of IT Infrastructure Platforms and Operations, Corporate IT at Mahindra & Mahindra Limited. Carrying over 35 plus years of experience, his area of expertise are data center management, infrastructure projects and operations, network, SAP Basics, GRC, and Office Productivity Suite. He was also responsible for setting up of Cloud Center of Excellence and preparing cloud strategies for his organization. With this, please welcome Mr. Ravindra with a huge round of applause.
Good afternoon to all of you. My first compliments to 𝗘𝗵𝗃𝗁𝗃. When I heard him, most of his thoughts are aligned with my thoughts. So whatever I am going to talk here is whatever available in the public domain and what is written in the books, but at the same time, we will be talking about the real life scenarios, the experience what we have over a period of 30-35 years, whatever time I have spent. But my background, I am finance professional, IT is my passion, and security, I am a learner. Okay, still I will be talking on security, more from the experience and whatever available in the public domain. The thoughts expressed here are my own thoughts. They may or may not match with my organization's thought. This is a disclaimer I am giving you. So these are the buzzwords normally we listen, we hear, and we read about security. But whenever we are talking about security, it is more of, I am always saying it is a logic. It is more of learning from the nature rather than investing heavily into technologies, tools. So I borrow the thought of white blood cells and the red blood cells, which is inherent to the engine provided by the God or the nature. I think similar kind of thing, security is also like that, because nature has given us built-in security. The problem what we face is because we are not following the SOPs defined by the nature, and that is why vaccination is required. Vaccination is not the solution. The solution is follow the law, the SOPs defined by the nature. But that common sense we normally don't use, and that is why we have to resort to the investment in tools and technologies. We always forget about the methodology. I think method should be first and then the technique. So these are the basic components of security. We all know CIA, confidentiality, integrity, availability. And 3 additional pillars got added to it, which is AAN, authentication, authorization, and non-repudiation. Because the ownership of the data is very, very important. Nobody should be saying that this email, I have not sent it, and reader should not be saying, I have not read it. So the acknowledgement through non-repudiation, so you lose basically the defense that I have not read that particular, I have not created that document. That is why this next pillar is also added. Now what does security mean to the business? Most of the time, we always take help of Gartner's, Forrester's for the studies what they conduct, and good learnings are available actually from this particular surveys. Now Gartner, the very first statement is now it has become a boardroom subject. 88% of the CIOs, those who were interviewed, they said security is not a technology risk, it is a business risk. It is very true. Because whenever there are security attacks, it is not only hampering your operational capability, but it is a reputational damage more. So future earning capacity is also integrated. That is why the third pillar is very, very important, that the risk incidents which are causing more damage to your future earning capability. So first and the third pillars are actually closely related. So Gartner is also saying that around 80+% of the organizations, they hold CIOs, CISOs responsible for the mishap in the organization because of the security related incidents. So that is how the security is taken very, very seriously by the organizations. and attacks are becoming much more sophisticated, right? Nowadays the threats are coming in encrypted form. So we need to be much more vigilant. Digitalization is a buzzword, everybody is talking about digitalization, but digitalization has also complicated the security roadmap. And why this is complicated is because the threats are numerous and they are coming from all the angles. The multiplicity volume is increasing day by day, and because of the pandemic, people are working from anywhere. So these are all cause, and the IoT is actually everywhere. There are IoT sensors we are using in day-to-day life also, and everything is becoming automated. Now people are also talking about intelligent automation and so many things. So as we are enabling businesses through newer technologies, newer forms, definitely I think we will also think about building security around that. And it has to be inherent rather than, afterthought. Now these are the top 10 challenges. Again, people like Gartner Forresters, they have classified it, and we all know there is nothing new about this, whether this phishing attack, cloud attacks, IoT, ransomware. Similarly, now people are also talking about cyber stalking and all that. So there are so many. Blockchain, I think, with my limited understanding, I was always thinking that the blockchain is very, very safe, secure. But now we are seeing even blockchain are also, falling prey to the security attacks. So why this is happening? Because again, same thing I am saying, that once the credentials are stolen, whatever best encryption or whatever best security you have, it will get compromised. Because आपने आपका पासवर्ड किसी के हाथ में दे दिया तो खत्म हो गया ना, बाकी का सब सिक्योरिटी इज ऑल इज psychological satisfaction, otherwise there is nothing. Now these are the types of the cyber crimes: identity thefts, botnets, cyber stalking, as I said, phishing attacks and all that, all known. War against threat. Now this is a story of Sun Tzu, who was actually a Chinese general, and as per information available in the public domain, he never lost any war. Any battle he has not lost. He has won all the battles whatever he fought. Why? Why this was possible? Mainly because three important things from his experience. If you know the enemy and if you know yourself, you need not worry about the result. The result will be positive. If you know yourself, but you don't know the enemy, then the result can be anywhere. The third thing is, if you don't know yourself, and if you don't know your enemy or opponent, then I think result is guaranteed that you are going to fail. Now, further thing is, the learning from Sun Tzu, that more thrust should be on the strategy, more thrust should be on the methodology, rather than investing heavily into technology and buying tools. Buying tools and technology will definitely give you psychological satisfaction that I am protected, but it is a myth, because whatever investments we have made, if you are not utilized it to the fullest, I am saying it is bigger crime, because organizations' money we have wasted. So my learning for these last 30 years is, we actually run after buying tools and equipping ourselves in the falsehood that I am protected because I am having so many tools in my arsenal. But one simple question internally we should be asking, that how many tools, whatever I have bought, I have utilized it to the fullest. We never had any intention to use that, but we always had an intention to buy tools and protect ourselves. That is not going to happen. We have to learn from our ancestrals that what and how they have won the battle. So this is a great learning from Sun Tzu. So cyber security strategy. Now these are again a normal things which we all follow while defining the cyber security roadmap. That first we have to identify. That means as I said, that know yourself, correct? What we have, where to protect, how much importance we have to assigned to each category and all that. Then we have to think about how do we protect that. That means strategy banao, ye karo, risk vagara and all that. Detect. Now detection is also how early we detect, right? But there are certain people, those who always feel that अरे detect हो गया है, तो उसको solve करना है. But the problem is, and I think one of the sessions, 3-4 days when I attended, somebody actually asked in a panel discussion that what is the level of confidence you have over a scale of 1 to 10 or 0 to 10 as far as the security is concerned. That person said, my score is 8.5. My question to that person was, do you know what is 10? You don't know what is 100%, then how do you actually rate yourself 8.5? The boundaries are not known. So those who think that we are safe and we will never get attacked, please do not be under that impression. So there are only two kinds of organization. One, those who have been attacked already, and those who are going to get attacked. So our focus should always be on respond and recover. That means if I am getting attacked, how quickly I can respond and I can bring back the system to normalcy. I think last two pillars are more important than the other pillars. Other pillars are equally important. But last two pillars, I think we should be focusing more attention. So these are the, this is a golden quadrangle. So where we are talking about device security, on-premise security, cloud security, edge security. So I was talking in the break session with other colleagues that when we started our career in IT, when I migrated from finance profession to IT, those were the days when we were talking about decentralization. That means every plant had a server, right? Thereafter the centralization started. And then we started talking about cloud. And today we are talking about edge computing or a fog computing. I read actually one white paper, and there the bold claim, it might be true also, we don't know, the time will tell, that edges will grow faster than cloud, right? So those who are jumping in cloud now, I think they should be also thinking about that every workload is not a candidate for the cloud. Certain things will definitely remain on premise, certain things will remain on edge, and it is actually, it will meet the business purpose. So always keep business as a focal point rather than keeping technology as a focal point. That means what business needs. Sometimes, you have a solution for which you don't have a problem. And we end up buying solution without searching for the problem. Find out what is a business challenge we are trying to solve and then invest. So as far as the device security, I think we all have seen that in the pandemic, during pandemic, the device security actually was more important. How do I patch the end user devices from which he is connecting and BYOD and all those things. So during that time, the enterprise mobility suite was very, very prominent, so that multi-factor authentication, conditional access and so many things, right? MAM also we have implemented. So from the device security point of view, the user became the focal point during the pandemic. A lot of people have invested good amount of money. Now we feel that my device or the endpoints are protected. So this is as far as the device security is concerned. Now edge security, as I am saying, the edges are growing. So from that angle, we will have to focus now, how should we giving more thrust on the IT, OT, ET, right, kind of technology, because OT area was neglected all these days, and we always focus our attention on the IT security. What is important to my business, and my business definition was corporate office, area office from where the revenue is coming, but we forgot where the revenue is getting manufactured, that is plant. So plant locations with the 5G coming in have become more important now. So from that angle, edges will have to be given more important, because there the data is getting captured. On-premise security, some people are saying it has become a legacy. Why? Because cloud has come. But cloud में क्या है? Cloud में क्या कुछ अलग है? नहीं. Right? Same server, same storage. People are also same, by the way. Right? उधर भगवान नहीं बसते हैं. Correct? Same people like us. They operate cloud, right? And the talent, when we are talking about that talent, we have actually habit of everything buying as a service. सब ready-made चाहिए, बनाने का कुछ नहीं है, right? So whatever we have, I think people have spent life on building data centers and managing data centers, but we neglect them because we feel that we have classified them as a legacy. I think इससे बड़ा गुनाह क्या हो सकता है, right? I think everything cannot move on cloud. So cloud में जितना जाना चाहिए. I'm not against cloud. Cloud is important. We should definitely adopt cloud. But everything is not the candidate for the cloud. Certain things will remain on-premise. So from that angle, hybrid is a way to go, multi-cloud is a way to go, right? And we have adopted the same principle in Mahindra and Mahindra also. Everything is not a candidate. I was actually instrumental in designing the strategy for cloud. We have classified our entire landscape into these 3-4 buckets. And based on that, the decisions were taken. But believe me, that it is not a legacy, right? It is important to us even today and it will remain important to us. In cloud security, subject which is very close to my heart, but with the paucity of time, I may not be able to cover more things on the cloud security, but certain things definitely I would like to cover. So CSPM, now those who are using cloud, now CSPM also was a buzzword, right? We started our journey on cloud. At that time, 𝗘𝗵𝗿 was very popular. I think 2014-15 𝗘𝗵𝗿 came, 2016 CSPM came. People started running after CSPM. CSPM is what? Basically, whatever, Gartner study states that 95% of the attacks are happening because of the misconfiguration in the containers. Right? That means if the containers are not defined properly, then they are susceptible to the damage and we'll have to pay for it. So from that angle, what CSPM does, CSPM is bringing visibility, highlight the misconfiguration. At the same time, it is telling you how to correct that. And also it is helping us from the compliance management point of view. It is a fantastic tool. But by the time people started implementing the CSPM, there is new animal actually landed on the earth, which is CNAPP. But I think we'll cover that in the other summarized slide. So this slide, which is actually giving you the full picture of the cloud security. 4 C's, right? The top layer. We are talking about public-private cloud IaaS. Then the second C, we are talking about Dockers, VMs. The third one, we are talking about the container protection. And the fourth one, we are talking about the code security, which is application security. And how that is to be protected, then there are tools available. Cloud Security Posture Management, which is CSPM. Cloud Workload Protection, that is 𝗘𝗵𝗶, which is nothing but the way we wish to protect our on-premise environment, hardening, right? OS hardening, patching, a similar kind of thing 𝗘𝗵𝗶 is also doing. But umbrella pillar for 𝗘𝗵𝗶 is CSPM, right? And CSPM के ऊपर क्या है? तो CNAPP. CNAPP, as I said, that's a new animal, right? And everything is starting from C. So whatever security measures we are implementing on cloud, and these are, by the way, natively available. They are cloud native, correct? So it's not that, one cloud service provider is suggesting a particular solution, it will work for the other. It may or may not work. But what methodology or what decision we have taken, we have actually purchased common tool. That means whichever cloud service provider I work with, I have one CSPM, correct? Now we will be talking about CNAPP also, so that evaluation is also on. And what is CNAPP? CNAPP is everything. That means CSPM plus 𝗘𝗵𝗶 plus CSNS, CSNS is cloud as a network as a service, security as a service. Now these are again key security compliance trends to watch. Zero trust, I don't trust anybody, right? Focus is more on the validation, correct? So by default, I will not trust anybody. Zero trust, and I think everybody, we all are following that. Container security, DevSecOps, shifting left, right? The security should be inherent to the design that DevSecOps is teaching us. But DevSecOps may be actually there are practical challenges. Jitna simple dikhta hai utna hai nahi. But anyway, that is a topic for the next time. Newest solution, seeing everything is the requirement today. That means observability should be improved, correct? Understanding the behavior. And as I said, nowadays, threats are coming in an encrypted way. We always believed that हम encryption करके अपना problem solve करेंगे. Attackers are more smarter than us. वो encrypted malware भेजते हैं अपने को. So now the question is, how do I use technology to detect encrypted threats? For that, again, AI, ML, those kind of tools we can use, and we can bring about that kind of visibility in the system. The other thing is, our focus should be identifying the damage and separating it or isolating it. That should be the focus. So that fourth pillar is also equally important. Now these are again Gartner prediction, but this particular survey, when it was done, it is not done on the CISOs and the CIOs. This is also done on the CEOs, right? And the CEOs, they have stated everything into the business requirement way. उनको पूछेंगे data fabric क्या है तो बता नहीं पाएंगे वो लोग, right? But यहाँ पे वो सब technology words are written. But this is not the words of the CEO. CEOs must have spoken the business language, but it is articulated into technology language by the Gartner. So they are talking about data fabric, data mesh, or a security mesh. That means unification of the source. Business is not very much, interested from where you are bringing the data. And we IT people, we IT community always feel that business should be defining the requirement. कि data कहाँ से लेना है? Business is saying, boss, I am going to define my business requirement. Correct? I am not going to tell you, ये side से उठाओ, वो side से उठाओ. So from that angle, identifying the source and updating it in an automated way so that I as a business should not be troubled. That is the concept of data fabric. Unification of the source and using all the sources to the fullest so that I can generate more business avenues. New streams can be carved out by that particular information asset. Cyber security mesh, we have spent good amount of money on building safety, security on premise, on cloud, on edges, but they are all disparate systems. What about one view? So for that one view, they are saying, give me a risk scorecard or a security scorecard. That is what is the expectation of the business. Good, bad, ugly, what is my state? Because we end up giving so many reports to the board members, they are getting confused, so they need one single view. They are not interested, ki boss, isme kaisa hai, usme kaisa hai, nahi. Give me the total score. So that is what is the ask. And focus is more on the cloud native. That means, as I said, that we have taken a decision that CSPM we will use our tool, and whichever may be the cloud service provider, we will use the same tool. But what they feel that since we are adopting a particular flavor or a particular choice, that means we should be buying that particular thing from that choice itself, so that we will get best-in-class service and best-in-class product. That is their ask. Composable application, microservices way of working, I think we all know, and that business is also expecting. Microservices way of working, we are familiar. That कल को एक solution बनाया, solution में one service is to send the SMS. For whatever reason, that SMS service is not working, बंद कर दो, rest of the application is working. That is what is business ask, right? That means please don't turn down the entire application. Allow me to work, correct? And business is saying that I am not working for cloud, by the way, right? Cloud is working for me, correct? So tomorrow it should not so happen that, we have spent so much of money, and that is what is, I think all CEOs will, they are thinking, that use my money in a judicial form. Use it for the right cause, to generate business. I am not here to, IT को पोसने के लिए धंधा नहीं करता हूँ. IT मेरे लिए है. It is like that. So from that angle, that is a message loud and clear coming from everywhere, that whatever money you are spending, please, you are accountable for that. Correct? Otherwise, होता क्या है normally after spending good amount of money, whenever any incident is happening, बोलता है ऊपर वाले की दया से हो गया करके. That is not on. Boss, you will be held responsible, and that is why that first survey slide which I showed, 85% of the CISOs and CIOs were held responsible for the cyber threats. So the conclusion is, IT security landscape is becoming much more complicated, right? Life is, and it is going to be complicated, future also, right? New threat vectors are getting identified. Too many tools are available in the market, and insider threats are also on the rise. So what we should be doing? We should be more vigilant, we should be more thoughtful while taking any decision, right? And method before technique is the concluding remark. Thank you very much.